Hello, hello. I see there was some Death Stranding 2 hope. Unfortunately, because I absolutely refuse to buy anything digitally, I basically can't play it early. As far as I know, the early access was only available if you bought the digital deluxe. But I'm awaiting my physical copy. So, but I'm very excited to dive in. It's just not going to happen until I get my physical copy. Yeah, yeah. It's not even really principles. It's my preference. Like I know I want a physical copy, so I'm not also going to buy the digital edition just so I can get it like 2 days early. You know what I'm saying? Even setting principles aside. So is what it is. And then I think I explained this yesterday, but schedule wise this week, I don't even know if I'm gonna get to it because Thursday and Friday night, I have some special plans with the Banana Boys, and I think the earliest I was going to even have because the physical comes out on Thursday, right? So maybe if I luck into getting it same day, I could have done it Thursday. Next best or next most likeliest would have been Friday. Um, but yeah, so Thursday is somebody's birthday related, and then Friday is a rare invite. So I couldn't say no to either. And hanging out with the Banana Boys takes priority. So maybe Saturday, I would say. I'll be honest, Pubs. I was not familiar with that person nor that project. Was it about trying to fight digital stuff? I assume from context that it was. I mean, that is my principle, as I've said many times as well, is that I really don't like the fact that you just don't have control over your library. Um, Obviously, I've made that concession for Steam, but let's be real, we don't really even have a choice there because that Steam was so successful and so early that it demolished physical releases. I don't think they exist at all for PC now, right? Does anything for PC come out on any sort of physical media apart from, like indie special release type things and stuff like that? I don't think there is. Only if the game is super successful. Yeah. Oh, I mean that's a tall ask, unfortunately, right? Food, because like one of the factors here is that it's not like it's not really the devs sitting around going, "We're not going to support our game once we stop supporting it directly. We're not going to," they're not like colluding and going like, "We will never provide dedicated servers." It's more so like, is the company they work for going to allow them to do anything? I think is most often the situation, right? Like even if the devs want to do something, whatever company they work for or publisher or who knows, because there's a lot of ownership entanglements in the games development industry, as I understand it, where it's probably decreed from on high that even if they have the thing and want to release it, that they cannot. So I don't see that paradigm really changing. If anything, only getting worse, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's been a problem for a long time too. It kind of started back with when matchmaking became more of a thing, and then yeah, early days of PC gaming were great because there was a lot of DIY around like most releases that came out, modding and dedicated servers and so on and so forth. But that was then. Anyway, I don't know what to say on that. There's not much I can do about PC, but on consoles there's still physical releases that actually have the data on the thing, where if you're offline you can actually play the thing. And those are the only things that I purchase. So, like in the case of the Switch 2, I won't be buying any releases that are game key cards. And I avoid on other systems buying any that are like essentially a blank disc or a key in a box or whatever. I avoid those as well. So, what if Nintendo does one what? No, no, nothing from Sega. Is Sega only doing game key card thingies? Oh, I see what you're saying. Like one of their major releases? Yeah, I mean, depends on what it is, I guess. If it's compelling enough, I don't know. I'm sure there will come a time where I won't really have a choice anymore. I'm not like, to be clear here, this isn't like a one man mission to change the world. As I said, as I said, this is my personal preference. Um, and as I have already admitted, in the case of like PC games, I'm already totally conceded over to Steam. Like it's not like I have an alternative. I'm talking about like what makes sense for me within my means. So, if Nintendo decides that all their first party stuff is going to be game keys going forward at some point, I suppose I'll probably have to fucking concede then too, because like I still want to have those experiences. And if there's no other option, then kind of fucked into it, right? I grew up on Nintendo franchises that I love a lot. Mario, Zelda, Metroid, etc., and so forth. Kirby. So, yep, Donkey Kong. I'm really looking forward to Bonanza. I'm looking forward to weeks of alternating between Bonanza and Death Stranding 2, and it's going to be the most whiplash we've had on this channel in a while, I think. Well, I mean, there's so many examples, Jazzy. But yeah, Scott Pilgrim was a good example, right? I mean, that was a game that just got deleted basically. Like, unless you happen to have a copy, it was just like gone. Um, but there's many examples of stuff like that. There's lots of things that are lost media directly due to the digital only, you know, situation. Um, I would bet that there's a lot of stuff from like the DSware and whatever else. I don't know if all that stuff was able to be preserved when Nintendo took shit down. Um, so I don't know. At any rate, like I said, I'm not on like a one man mission here. I'm only really talking about my preferences, and I'm fully aware. I'm not like I'm not deluded here. I'm aware that like, well, I guess I'm not aware of this, but my presumption is that the vast majority of video game consumers prefer digital. What makes me sad to think about is like, um, there's going to be non-zero people out there who are like kids that got like a Switch or a Switch 2 who have an entirely digital library, right? Who maybe grow up at some point, they feel nostalgic, whatever, blah blah. All that shit will be gone. Or you have to repurchase it again on the the Nintendo fucking whatever in 30 years. Uh you got to get the Switch Virtual Console channel and wait for Nintendo to squeeze out, this title or that title. So, um but I also know not everybody's like that. I think it's a minority. I think it's a minority people. I don't know. I have the impression that it's really a minority of people that care about this stuff in this very particular way. Like whenever I do retro stuff, I always feel really compelled to have to explain that for me, I enjoy sort of beyond just the game, which is why I don't just settle for an emulator and then play, you know? Because it does feel like it's kind of something that needs explaining. It's like why are you going to the effort to get the physical thing when you can just really easily get the ROMs or whatever? And it's like I like the whole experience. I like the tactile experience of it. I like the process of it. I enjoy reading the manuals, looking at the box art, whatever else. I get a lot of enjoyment out of the whole thing, not just the game itself. Um, but that's me. True, but there's always a war on that going on as well, right? It's out there. Um, I don't even really know what that looks like, to be honest, for something like PlayStation or Xbox. But I'm still reeling from the fact that Nintendo bricked people's Switches and Switch 2s for just inserting the blank flash card. They don't have any proof that you did any any piracy at all. Not to mention the fact that it is perfectly legal to back up your own purchased software. Just inserting the cartridge bricked the device. That's insane. But I totally I'm with you on backups. There's nothing wrong with doing that either. That's a perfectly good approach. And that is a way in the digital world where you can preserve your stuff for the future for sure. So it's just unfortunately Nintendo has chosen to make it dangerous.
Reticulating sperms.
Anonymous, thank you for that gift sub. I think, yeah, I mean, obviously Nintendo doesn't agree, but I think they are objectively wrong. I think it's insane. It's an insane policy for them to do such a thing because that is so It's just beyond the pale. It's beyond the pale. It's way, way, way too aggressive. And I'm even like sympathetic to the idea that like they have to protect their IP or whatever. As somebody who has created things, I can understand, I can wrap my head around, you know, if you create something and it's your livelihood. Although I mean I obviously have more sympathy for individual creators versus corporate creators, in that sense, but nevertheless, as a baseline. But they're like insanely draconian. I don't know a whole lot about the Pal World stuff, so I don't really know the details. But um, I have the impression that it is a fuck show. Yeah, yeah, that's fair. That all makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. As for me, I mean, I absolutely am a sucker for Nintendo. But like I said, I grew up with them. Um, so, but I'm at least aware that I'm a sucker. I just have a lot of formative experiences in my life that are Nintendo oriented. So they are essentially my Disney, as I recently said. Yeah, a Nintendo adult. Disney for me is the one. Weirdly, I was also kind of like raised on Disney, but I never went to Disney. So maybe that's what never solidified it for me. But I definitely I'm anti Disney as an adult. That's me, you know. I just don't like them. Well, okay, yeah. I mean, I used a an inflammatory term, but yes, they're blocked from online. I don't know if it's just their account though, or and let's be real, it's semi bricking to have the device blocked from Nintendo Online Service, right? Because if it's based off of the hardware device ID or whatever, then that means even if you resell that Switch or whatever, it's offline forever. No multiplayer, no digital downloads, no downloads of any kind, no nothing. No friends. You can't like you just all you can do is you can put a game in it and play it. You can't update the game. And from some of what I saw, you can't even like make any changes if they have to go online or whatever. So like people couldn't remove their accounts from the Switch because that's an online operation. And then if you tried to do it from online, like on a website, you couldn't even do that because it couldn't connect to the Switch. Oh wow, if you tried to factory reset it, it would brick it. Oh, because there was a day one patch for the Switch as well, so it was non-operable without that patch. So if you go back to factory, that would kill it. Yeah. Wow. 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 Well, I also have the understanding that it's already been busted, hasn't it? The Switch 2. So hypothetically, those switches are probably rescuable for like mod and homebrew purposes, at least. Not fully yet. Well, they're on the road. They're gonna get there. They always get there. They always get there. God, I remember going out to Walmart and having them open up the PSPs, the display case that had the PSPs in, so that I could go through and examine the serial codes on the boxes, so that I could find the right PSP to then take home and fucking homebrew. Or PSP. Did I say PS1? I meant PSP. I love the stuff that leads to jailbreaks and stuff like that. It's so funny. Like with PSP, a lot of it PSP was fucking wild. I'm sure there were like saves that would do it. There was the whole battery thing. There was if you had a particular battery, the battery would let you jailbreak a PSP. There were certain games that would let you do it. Oh well, yeah. I mean, now that Sony's not actively fighting back, right? Now it's easy. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the trouble is that while they have online services connected to these devices, it is a security threat, right? Very minorly devil's advocate on why they fight that. But then again, Sony released a PlayStation that you could whole ass install Linux on before they decided to stop doing that. So I honestly don't even know. Yeah, I suppose, yeah. I don't know. Perhaps it is all just of the same reasoning as Nintendo fucking blasting people for putting a blank flash cartridge in their Switch 2. just just anything they feel like they have to continually fight piracy. Kind of like the whole like you have to protect your trademark or you lose it. You know. Oh, it was underwhelming. That was PS2, right? Oh, it was 3? Really? It wasn't 2? Holy shit. Huh. Why did I think it was PlayStation 2? I guess that would have been wildly. That just would have been wild. Piracy is a service problem. Is that the basically the argument of like Essentially, if you make it easy for people to consume, then you reduce their um, desire to pirate, essentially, right? A thing that all of the video streaming services definitely don't understand. They really fucked themselves into a corner. It's kind of a funny conundrum, right? Like, the best consumer experience was essentially when there was just Netflix, because then everything would just be on there and you only had to pay one subscription. But of course, inherently that's monopolistic. But then if they all split off, which they have done, well, now it's $15 a month. Here, 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 here. No one's going to pay for all of those. So what do? I know what I did. Yeah, it's a kind of a no-win, no-win situation. Yeah, sure those. No, it's fine. We can let it be those. Oh, but yeah, sorry for the late check-in stream. I had the double whammy of there was a work emergency, and then simultaneously I was heavily invested in the New York mayoral primary. So that was my that was my evening. And also, fuck this fucking heat wave. Um, some of us are very happy right now, and some of us are not so much. I'm in the happy camp, but I think y'all know that. But yeah, altogether, just a busy and sweaty evening. I thought we we got our air conditioners up like actually early this time around, rather than like suffering for like a month into the summer and then being like, fucking, what are we doing? But then this heat wave came along, and it's like, do I need another air conditioner? Yeah, for real. I needed air conditioners on my air conditioners. Oh yeah. I mean, that's why I rushed. One of the many reasons I rushed to escape Phoenix. I think Phoenix is literally on a course to be unlivable really rather soon. It was already like commonly summers in Phoenix have been a heat stroke risk. And if like your AC breaks down in the summer in Phoenix, that is literally life threatening, not a joke. And it's only going to get worse, obviously, because we are literally not trying whatsoever to do anything about that. So, um, I don't know. I've been giving it like 10 or 15 years basically before it's like snowbirds only. Yeah, I have no idea, man. I mean, when you look at like when they show the temperature map when they do like weather forecasts and stuff, it's like there's a sniper with a red dot on Phoenix. Always, every time. As I've been saying, it's basically going to get lasered off the earth. Yeah, I mean, Phoenix is great in the winter. A nice 45, 50 degrees. Very nice. But outside of that, I mean, it's fucking expensive and was getting expensiver. I heard that it's essentially it proceeded along that course and has reached crisis levels. I mean, while we were there, we had to move a billion times because of the plague of like um, essentially real estate speculation bullshit. You know, house flippers, landlords, and so forth, corporate landlords and whatnot, constantly changing owners and kicking out the tenants and rate like hiking the rent every year. Oh yeah, it truly is the car city. Um, I recently saw something. I think some article that was talking about how Phoenix is has the worst drivers in the country or something like that now. 1,500 a month for 700 square feet. Whew. When I left, we were paying uh approaching 2,500 for 1,600 square feet. And that was kind of like the final straw because we were like, will you give us, because our number one concern was that we kept getting forced to move, which is hugely expensive. And so what we really wanted, we were almost willing to accept like this insane rent, that they were raising every year. But we were like, will you give us a multi-year lease? And the the best they would offer us was, I think it was, they would do a 2-year lease, but they wanted to,
They still went up the rent.
yeah, they wanted only if we would accept them, basically the next year and the year following rent hike as part of
Yeah.
it. So
It was what, like $100 extra per year?
yeah, basically
We took it for 2 years, and then
they were raising it more than $100 a year.
yeah, it was actually Scottsdale was a shit. Um, and that's when someone broke into our house, and that was supposed to be the nicest area. Then again, we were on like the outskirts.
Well, every
But
one of them is all, they're all like an independent suburb, and they all have their sort of high value, low value areas. And we were in a, I mean, we weren't really in a particularly like crime heavy area or anything like that. It was just happenstance, insane happenstance. It's the only thing that ever happened to us the entire time we were in Phoenix that came anywhere near to brushing with crime
probably the nicest
in the crime-ridden cities.
the nicest neighborhood we were in was probably Tempe.
Oh yeah, Tempe. Well, I mean, we never lived in Tempe. We lived in Ahwatukee.
Sorry, yeah, Ahwatukee.
Also, Maricopa was nice.
It was fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's all
It wasn't.
it's all suburban hell. At wherever, whatever place you say, it's all suburban hell. There's no.
Yeah. I would just say Ahwatukee was the nicest as far as like neighborhood combined with like location combined with price. Like
Yeah.
that was the best we had. But even then we got out because they wanted to sell the house. So they pretty much kicked us out. Because someone did sell the house to a giant chain, and then they wanted to liquidate.
Yep.
So that sucked. So we moved to Scottsdale, into the worst house we've ever lived in. Got broken into, and then we moved to North Phoenix.
Well, not even broken into. Straight up visited.
Well, no. Well,
We left
I
the
don't
door
know.
unlocked, apparently.
I don't know. What do you call it when somebody jumps your fence and walks into your house?
It's certainly entering.
It's
There
trespassing.
just wasn't any breaking.
Yeah.
And also there was nothing, they didn't do anything.
They didn't
were
take anything. They did leave the gate open, which pissed me off.
Yeah. It was a home invasion, yeah.
Yeah.
Jumping and entering, yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that happened during the stream.
I mean, I don't, frankly, that was pretty benign. It was just like, we just want you not in our house, please.
Yeah. She didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
And she was so pregnant. So pregnant. Like, how did you get over a 6-foot wall that pregnant? Like, I would be scared to death that I would fall.
What needs must.
I guess, but like, holy shit.
It wasn't a dude, it was a lady.
Well, the dude also came into our backyard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically dropped
Not
her
much
off.
solidarity on that team.
Yeah. Dropped her off and then kept going.
I don't think
And
it was
she
even
just...
I don't think it was coordinated at all. I think they got they got in our backyard and they just went they just split off.
Yeah.
Trying anything.
And she walked in and the dog started freaking out because, I mean, 2 60-pound dogs. And
yeah, she made such a wrong choice.
Yeah. And she was just like frozen in front of the back door, and I come out and I was like, "Who are you?" Oh.
it was just dumbass shit. Is all it was. It was just some dumbass shit.
Yeah. Then the cops were like, "You need to press charges," and we're like, "She didn't do anything. She literally couldn't have stolen anything. She was in the shortest shorts I've ever seen, and in a tank top with no bra, like at least 6 months pregnant. Like, if she stole anything, it's fine. And more power to her at that point. Good job. You deserve it."
Yeah, that was our stuff. Yeah.
No, no, you could like see her. You could see through the tank top. Uh, I would be pissed.
Ultimately, it was just a funny story.
Yeah, it was really creepy though.
And normally we lock our doors. I think it was just
We hadn't gotten
fucking
used to. I mean, like we
it's
were.
happenstance. It was, let the dogs out, you forget one time, and then it just happens to coincide with this
Well,
insanely unlikely
it was
event.
also in the middle of the day, surrounded by 6 foot walls. We didn't realize that that was a problem. Like we always did it like before we went to bed, but we're like we're both here, like
I would
whatever.
say I would say it was mildly traumatizing.
Yeah,
Obviously, we were much more attentive to the door locks
yeah.
after that. Um,
And that's the house that they sold it after we moved out. And
well, no,
then
they booted us. We didn't choose to move out. They told us to go. Yes, I remember arguing with the guy.
uh,
I emailed them. I'm like, "Are you serious about like what the fuck?" And they basically, I got an email from the you like normally you deal with the corporation
yeah,
because the way all of these work is that there's people that just fucking buy real estate and then they hire a management company to deal with the tenants because they don't want to deal with the riffraff.
yeah.
And the guy like directly emailed me back like, "I'm selling the house. You have to get out." Like, all right.
I mean, but he probably made a shitload of money on it because somebody did buy that house, and then they completely redid it, doubled the square footage, built the pool in the background, and sold it for like 1.5 million.
Listed. I don't know if it was sold or what. I don't remember
I'm
that
pretty
part.
sure it was sold because I remember looking it up.
I'm not sure it was sold to a human though.
That's true.
I think I think it just I think a lot of property in Phoenix just passes hands between like basically real estate in Phoenix was headed towards essentially being like a commodity, like almost like trading cards.
Yeah,
Like these companies just
we
sell them to
did.
each other and like all of us are just like fucking,
Who do we owe rent to?
collateral damage or
Yeah.
whatever. Like just don't hope you're not, living in the place while this is going on or whatever, but
Yeah. And then the last place, of course, Phoenix was nice-ish, but we were surrounded by the weirdest. Like we were still very much in city, and everybody around us had horses and shit, just like in their
at the
backyard.
last place we lived, yeah. Well, those were big properties. Big-ish, big
I
enough.
mean,
So
not with
like a
like a
few of the
field.
ones that had horses were
They were like double.
more than double. Like the one that was like a almost like a ranch was like half the block. It was just kind of it was unusual for that to be in your neighborhood, but it was, yeah,
You mean
it was
not
sizable.
like our neighbors?
Not our direct neighbors. You talk
Okay.
about the ones with the dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was at least a double.
Yeah.
I think they had
That's the one I was thinking
they
of.
had a horse,
They
right?
had
Yeah.
two.
Oh yeah, they had two. They had like a little. They had a big enough. I mean, it's small for a horse, or
Yeah.
even two, especially two horses, but not impossibly small.
Yeah. That was the one. The horse always liked to put its head over the wall. I almost fed it a couple times. I did pet it a couple times. And the dogs hated them.
I don't think Nico hated him.
Nico fucking hated the horses so hard.
Didn't he want to be friends? I thought?
No, no.
Oh,
He
okay.
kept jumping at them to bite them, and I was like, you don't. You jump into the other dog's mouth. I don't know what a horse's mouth would do to you. And like I kept trying to get him away. Like those were the times where I was like, I had to get the leash and hook him up to the leash to walk into the house because he wouldn't stop freaking out.
JJW, thank you for 100 months. Very much appreciated.
That was bitch. And then he taught Chew, and Chew was little baby puppy just angrily barking and running at a fucking horse. He was like, this is not your fight, hon. Not your fucking fight. Penny didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
No, she was like, that's an animal. It's far away from me. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Again, sorry for the late and short stream, but thanks for hanging out and shooting the shit, as always. Appreciate y'all. Hopefully tomorrow will just be much more normal. Don't totally know what my game plan is. I already explained Thursday and Friday. Probably we'll do a little bit more Expedition 33 tomorrow. And then we're doing our Thursday, Friday stuff. So the weekend is a bunch of unknowns. We have something going on Monday and Tuesday. And we have to do some prep for that I think we have to do this weekend. So I may have to postpone our continuation towards our goals until next weekend. We'll see, though. And maybe I'll start Death Stranding 2 on Saturday night, possibly. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.